Hey guys, it's Joel from F50 Gaming, and if you can see by the car on the screen, the new DLC has came out, and it's not just a standard Lambo or any Nissan or any Dodge, you know. It is the Ferrari LaFerrari FXX K. Yep, this DLC is by far the best DLC of any racing game of all time, in my personal opinion. Sorry, Forza, you can never beat this, because I have to admit, Forza packs, or Forza DLCs, have to admit, they're pretty shit, but not DriveClub DLCs. We got this, the P1 GTR. We got the Enzo FXX Evoluzione. And that's not just it. That's not it. Those three cars itself would make this pack the best pack ever. But when you go down the list, you find something pretty crazy. Yes, you find the Nismo GTR. And that's not just it. There's one more car that is by far the greatest car of all time. And you might be thinking, you're going lower, but it's just awesome. It's just awesome. It's just the best car ever. Yep, it's a Renault. It's a Renault. Yes, the Megane 2.7. Yes, nothing can beat that. But yes, today we are going to be behind the wheel of the LaFerrari. And what's cool is that you got the Enzo, which is kind of like the 10-year-old FXX, and you got the LaFerrari, which is basically the new FXX. So you got like the older brother and the younger brother in the same DLC, and this thing is just awesome. I have a feeling that this thing is probably going to be the most craziest car I've ever driven in any racing game ever. And I've driven some pretty crazy cars in racing games. The Koenigsegg 1.1, for example. But is this thing more crazy? It looks a whole lot more crazy. Holy crap. Wow. Unleash the beast! 1,036 horsepower from a V12. Yes, a V12. The way it's meant to be. Just listen to that. No. Yeah, this thing's hard to handle, I have to admit. But this thing is just pure insanity. It's mental. $3 million that you're going to need to get one of these things. And this thing is just absolutely mental. This is basically a hardcore track version of the LaFerrari, which the LaFerrari by itself is a pretty freaking crazy car in its own rights, but I don't think it is as crazy as this thing. Like, I've driven the Koenigsegg 1.1 in this game. Koenigsegg 1.1 can't do anything compared to this. I know the Koenigsegg has around about 200 more horsepower than this, but this thing just feels so much more. So much more. Look, 170, 80, 90. This thing is just mental. Look at the two little spoilers on the back. That's just awesome. Ferrari they've definitely went all out on this thing. They've definitely went all out. Ferrari V12s have definitely not lost its touch when it has come to passion, performance, and power. Definitely not. This thing is just incredible. Just listen to the shifts. They're just so rapid and so instant. You just get endless, uninterrupted power by this massive V12. It's just an incredible car. So obviously I'm doing a time trial because I just want to get used to this beast first, and then we're gonna see how it goes against Koenigsegg's, other Ferraris, McLarens, and Lambos, and also Pagani's. We'll see how it does with those kind of cars. But this thing is just crazy coming out of the corners. You just get crazy amounts of power. This thing is just mental. But it is pretty hard to control, I have to admit, but I don't care. It's just so cool. Yeah, but definitely DriveClub definitely freaking pulled it off with this DLC. They're just the best at DLCs. Like, Forza bring out a DLC that's got like an Aston Martin and it's just got other pointless, stupid cars. But this game, every single car is freaking awesome, except for the Renault. But every single car in this pack is freaking insane. And like with the Lambo DLC, you had awesome Lambo. They're just the best when it comes to DLCs. They definitely know how to make a DLC. But that's the end of the time trial, and this thing has definitely made a crazy impression. And yeah, this thing is not gonna let you off easy. So yeah, that's pretty much the time trial done. Let's move on to the race. Okay, I have brought this thing to Japan because in my personal opinion, Japan probably has the best driving roads in this game. But yeah, as you can see, we are up against F1s, P1s, Koenigsegg's, might be a few Paganis, might be a few Lambos, might be a few Ferraris as well. But yeah, I'm going to call this thing the Holy Shitmobile because the first reaction I had when I saw this thing was holy shit. So yeah, that's going to be my kind of like little nickname for this vehicle. But yeah, this thing is just really fast. It feels so fast. As I said in the last part, like Koenigsegg's might be fast, but this thing just feels so much faster. And yeah, this thing is probably the greatest car ever, in my personal. It's probably the greatest car of all time with how freaking insane it is. Like, it's more insane than Lambos, if that's alright for me to say. But yeah, this thing is just so quick, and yeah, it's $3 million. So yeah, quite expensive. But if you can afford it, why the bloody hell not? But this thing just sounds insane as well. It just sounds crazy. Like, the sound just adds to like the whole appearance of the car. And I'm going to be doing the Enzo FXX tomorrow. So you're going to have the LaFerrari today and the Enzo tomorrow. What a freaking awesome lineup of videos ahead. We got this, we got the Enzo, and we got the P1. We also got the Nismo. I'm not even going to bother with the Renault because that was probably just a waste of time. But yeah, this thing is just awesome. As I said before, it is a bit hard to handle. Like, if you are new to this game, you might want to start off with something less insane. But yeah, this car, it's quite a handful, but if you get used to it, it's really easy to drive and it's really damn quick. But yeah, I kind of stuffed up there. Other cars are catching up, but I'm alright with that. But yeah, this car is just really freaking awesome. I cannot tell you how many times I think that this car is awesome. But we are heading down to the bendy bits. So let's see if we can kind of like get the tail out of it. Some kind of like tail action. And yeah, let's see what we can do in the bends. But this thing is pretty planted, I have to admit. Like, it doesn't really oversteer a lot. It doesn't really understeer a lot as well. It's kind of like a good balance. I think this thing is rear-wheel drive. It should be, because the stock LaFerrari is rear-wheel drive, so this thing should be rear-wheel drive as well. But this thing has got slicks. This thing has got slick tires. No ordinary road tires for this thing. This thing's too good for road tires. It's got freaking slicks. And this is just the perfect match. A Pagani Zonda R and a LaFerrari FXX. Because basically both are the insane hardcore track versions of insane hardcore road cars. So yeah, I'm in first place. And we are at around about 78% through the race. But yeah, as I said, it's been freaking awesome driving this car on a brilliant track. I have to admit, this track is just gorgeous. It's got awesome views. And it really shows off how freaking awesome this game is. Now, people can't tell me that this game is a joke, especially with the DLCs that it releases. Like, this game, I know it's not the best in terms of gameplay and stuff, but with the cars that they release in the DLCs, you just cannot beat. You just cannot beat it. Like, there's not one car in a DLC that I've said that I thought that was like, that car's pretty stupid, except for the Renault. That's about it. But yeah. Oh no! Oh, I kind of stuffed it. Nah, damn it. Bloody hell. That's alright. I don't really mind. I was going to come first anyway, but I kind of stuffed it. But yeah, this car is just pure insanity. It just is. So, pretty much, we got an awesome lineup when it comes to DriveClub videos. We got the P1, we got the Enzo, we got the Nismo. Don't worry about the Renault, don't worry. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And yeah, make sure you stay tuned for the Enzo video tomorrow. That will be insane. That will be just as insane as this car. So make sure you check that out. Thank you guys again for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care.